Welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. We're going over the Wave 8 release for Wizkid's D&D Attack Wing. For those who don't know the game, it's a miniature game where you build your army with these pre-painted figures and you go and battle your opponents. It's based off of Dungeons & Dragons, the popular role-playing game that's seeing a nice resurgence. So Wave 8 has had three parts to it. We've got the Air Cult Warrior, the Brass Dragon, and the final one we're going to go over, the Mind Flayer, because this is the one I've been looking forward to the most. So the Mind Flayer expansion, Xeno is a Mind Flayer who has never cared much for lesser creatures. To him, all beings too troublesome to be dominated by his psionic powers deserve nothing better to have their brains extracted, while Xeno entangles them with his powerful tentacles. Some enemies actually have the gall to flee in terror from his presence rather than stand there and sustain him with their delicious memories. Such insolence is typically met with a mind blast that crushes their psyches. Better to let their brains be scrambled than to offer their sustenance to less deserving illithids. Unlike most Mind Flayers, Xeno has learned a thing or two about sorcery and often casts a globe of invulnerability to protect himself from spells of his enemies. Dragon Breath is also a chore to deal with, so Xeno dons his Cloak of Resistance when facing such beasts. There are, of course, times when Xeno prefers to pull the strings of his servants rather than encourage his foes directly. During such times, the Psionic Commander compels his troops to march forward with deadly precision. The inimitable Illithid uses his quick reactions to manipulate his soldiers' movements, helping them to survive to fight for their master another day. It includes 11 cards, 36 tokens, 1 maneuver dial, 1 painted plastic creature with plastic connector. So I think we're going to probably get some psionic powers off of this, which should be cool. It kind of expands the game a little bit. Sounds like there's going to be some anti-breath weapon abilities, which is going to be great. And then, what was the third thing? Probably some manipulating other creatures and maybe even some of the other players' creatures, which we've seen before, but it's never a bad thing to get more of. So let's first check out the figure itself. Let's see how. Figure's really cool. I'm digging like the sculpt and the figure itself. The face is, I wish there was a bit more maybe detail on it. It stuck out a little bit more. The eyes are kind of a little disappointing. The thing that actually really stands out to me is the like the staff that the figure has. It's got a clear gem at top, which is actually pretty cool. The coloring on the cloak is so-so. I mean, there's a little bit of shading, nothing too special. And the wrist is a little weird. It's like he's pointing like this, which really maybe should be pointing straight out, but yeah. Oh well. Let's see what we can get as far as the detail. There we go. Hopefully you can kind of see, you can see the shine of the tip of the spear, the staff. It is like a clear jewel, so that's actually pretty cool. You can definitely see the wrist is pointed weirdly. The face, like that, I just don't like the eyes, I think is my big thing. The sculpt of the face is pretty cool. And some of the other coloring. So overall, not a bad figure. It's pretty neat overall. Again, the staff, I think, is what makes it really kind of stand out more than anything. Quickly already looking at the tokens that you get with this. There's a lot of psionic stuff that comes with it. So, we've got Psychic Crush, Psionic Commander, Globe of Invulnerability, Ego Whip, and Psionic Commander. So, clearly they want you to use Psionic Commander, I think. Next one, we've got just the dials and all that. And the last, again, nothing too special for those two. Alright, let's go over the cards. Kind of an expensive figure. We got 21 points and 40 points with 2 upgrades and 5 upgrades. Actually the pretty beefy figure. It's 4-2-4-1. For a creature that you'd think of a lot of like psionic stuff and kind of like mind manipulation, that's pretty good as far as attacks and defense and life and all that. Level 8, so that's the Lithid Taskmaster. And then we got for 40 points, which is pretty expensive, 5-3-5-1. Level 18, they're not much as far as attack forwards. It's 1 and 1 with the tentacle melee. Xeno, the Mind Flayer Arcanist. Any creature damaged by Xeno's tentacles cannot attack Xeno for the rest of the round. Such a creature cannot even initiate an area attack that engulfs Xeno. So get the hit in, do some damage, and then you're pretty much safe. So on the ground, maneuver's not bad. There's nothing really all that special or noticeable to it. Focus. Alright, so nothing too crazy as far as that. So let's go through the rest of the cards that you get. We got an arcane spell, the Globe of Invulnerability, for 4 points. You are immune to spell attacks. When this effect ends for any reason, discard this card. So I know I don't have tons of people that use a lot of spells in the gaming in the area, so that's probably not going to be used a whole lot. We have a campaign artifact, the Cloak of Resistance. You roll +2 defense dice against breath weapons. You cannot equip another cloak upgrade. Xeno can use any upgrade slot to equip this cloak. That's 4 points. That will be huge, I think, in play. You're going to see that a lot. A lot of people I know use a lot of breath weapons, a lot of dragons, especially in tournaments. So I think that's going to be kind of a standard for any ground troop. So that'll be pretty handy. We've got Mind Blast. So these are all pretty like new. Or not new, but we don't get too many of these cards, I don't think. So Mind Blast, its cost is a Mind Flayer's primary weapon value +1. Must be a Mind Flayer to equip, so pretty limited. It's range 3. You spend your concentrate token and then use your primary weapon value to make a separate attack against each creature in a range 3 cone. Ground or air in your forward arc. Armor cannot be used to deflect this attack. Afterwards, place 3 timers on this upgrade. This attack has no effect against obstacles or similar objects. So interesting that they throw in the obstacle part. Now the great thing I would say is the one where any creature damaged by Xeno's tentacles, I guess that won't count. Okay, so it's only tentacles that you get the protection from, so that's not going to really help much with the Mind Blast. Next we've got Ego Whip. It's the Ego Whip. Kind of like Devo Whip, but not really. So that's 3 points. You cannot attack. All non-unique creatures within range 1 to 4 of you cannot attack. When this effect ends for any reason, discard this card. Must be unique Mind Flayer to equip. So, basically prevent everyone from attacking. Extract Brain. When the flavor, there was a lot of talking about brain extractions. This costs 3, must be a Mind Flayer to equip. During the combat phase, you may disable this upgrade to target one creature that was just damaged by your tentacles. Make an immediate 3-dice attack against the creature. The creature cannot roll defense dice or use armor to deflect this attack. This attack has no effect against obstacles or similar objects. Clearly, people were attacking obstacles a lot because they had to put that in there. Next, we've got Dominator. Must be a Mind Flayer to equip. This costs 4. Disable this upgrade to target one enemy creature who is lower level than you at range 1 to 2 in your forward arc. If the creature was in the air, you may immediately force it to land, regardless of whether you force the creature to land. You may also force the creature to perform a straight maneuver, one bank, or one bank the other way maneuver, your choice. Or you can remove one timer from your Mind Blast upgrade. This would be your action. You must be a Mind Flayer to equip, so you can either move some figures around or speed up your other abilities. So now we've got, this is cost 5, Psionic Commander. Must be a Mind Flayer to equip. Noticing a pattern here. The action is place timer, all friendly, one timer. It's all friendly troops within range 1 to 3 who are lower level than you receive the continuous effect below. Each affected troop with 2 or 3 soldiers rolls +1 defense die. Each affected troop with 4, 5, or 6 soldiers rolls +2 defense dice. So a little bit of incentive to do the Mind Flayer and also run some troops as well. So that's kind of interesting. Once again, they seem to be encouraging the use of soldiers. And then finally, we've got Psychic Crush. During the combat phase, you may target one creature that was damaged by your Mind Blast. That creature receives a continuous effect below. This affected creature cannot attack when this effect ends for any reason. Discard this card. So that's all the upgrades. It's the final figure that we're going over. The Mind Flayer is really interesting. I noticed there's a lot of manipulating the other player's creatures, as well as kind of enhancing yours. I really think out of the set, it seems like there was a big focus on powering up troops a lot more. Those, of course, figures that are really, troop types that are really underused, the soldiers, the ground troops. So that seems to be a bigger focus and a lot of defense against breath weapons and dragons in general, which is very, very much needed. So this is kind of cool. It's going to change up the game hopefully a little bit. We'll see some more ground troops used in the game going forward, not just in casual play, but also tournaments. So this was Wave 8 of Wizkid's Dungeons & Dragons Attack Wing. Of course, we'll be back for Wave 9, 10, and 11. And any OPs that come from there. Thanks for watching. This is Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. You can, of course, catch us every single day at graphicpolicy.com. Of course, we're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all at Graphic Policy. We keep it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep rolling those die and keep it geeky.